Star Wars fans, yesterday I made a video talking about how Jon and Dave were going to be coming over and taking over movies over at Star Wars.
The Jedi are taking over!
And well, mistakes were made. I want to talk about how that might not be what is actually happening. And while what might actually be happening is very cool, I must also talk about why it sucks because it's not what I thought it was going to be. What's up, everybody? It's Josh coming at you from Nerd Adventures Tower as per usual, and smash a like on this video, even though it may feel like two Jedis came out of a corridor to help you and they were going to save the day, and then the Sith Lord Kathleen Kennedy rolled in and was like, just kidding, and like cut him up and stuff like that.
I am the Senate.
And yeah, this one's a tricky one, man. Maybe you already saw me talk about this on the live stream earlier today. Well, we did the video yesterday based on this tweet by Grace Randolph. Let me just read through this. It says, whoa, I hear Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni are in talks to head over to the movie side of Star Wars. That would be brilliant. Now, in my video yesterday, I read this as to head over the movie side of Star Wars. So the mistake that I made was sort of misreading this tweet, maybe with wishful thinking in mind, and was like, oh, wow, these two are going to do the movie side of Star Wars. That would be absolutely amazing. And here's the thing. It's sort of a weird spot because that might technically be what she is referring to. And I made this point on the stream earlier. Jon and Dave right now technically head a bunch of different shows for the live action division of the Disney Plus shows, right? So if they head over to the movie side, would they not then also perhaps have that same kind of a position where they would be, you know, producing and heading a bunch of different movies? And considering the problems that Star Wars has with their movie productions right now, it would just make sense that within those problems, you bring these two dudes over from the Disney Plus side of things to do the movie side. Basically, I still think that this could be what was talked about, okay? And I wanted to sort of do a follow-up video because, yes, I was wrong in the way I read the tweet yesterday. However, it's very possible that's still what's happening, so I'm going to sort of leave that video up for people to, you know, get into. And, you know, the other thing with regards to that video is it sort of breaks my heart.
You're breaking my heart.
Because, you know, you look at the replies to the tweet that Grace made and you look at the replies on my video and you see that thinking that these two dudes were going to take over Star Wars or have a big control of Star Wars, including the movies, it did sort of bring hope and a lot of hype to this situation with Star Wars and with movies.
Help me.
Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni.
You're my only hope.
So it's just crazy to me. It's really sad that this could be out there and yet not be what we necessarily want it to be. Now, here's another idea that as soon as I figured out that this was sort of incorrect, that I didn't have it 100% right, or at least there's the possibility that the way I read this is not what's actually going to happen. There's still an option that I think is really freaking cool here, so I want to talk about that. Now, I have actually long believed that what Jon and Dave are doing over with Disney Plus could culminate in some kind of a cinematic experience, that you could have something built up over a couple of different seasons over there on Disney Plus, and then have a movie sort of be the final chapter in that story, in that long story that they are telling. And in fact, Dave and Jon have both sort of hinted at this being a possibility in the past. It was rumored by a bunch of people to be something that was on the table as well. And if they are doing a retelling of Heir to the Empire, or they want to reestablish a new era with Luke Skywalker, with different Jedi, and with a different bad guy, mainly, you know, Grand Admiral Thrawn, then it would make sense for them to take all of that stuff over to the movie side. And it is possible that is what Grace is reporting, right? She is saying that they are going to go over to the movie side and essentially take all of their toys and all the stuff that they've been working on over there. Now, again, I just want to repeat, that would be freaking dope. That's still really, really cool. But I think it sort of ignores the wider problem with Star Wars films and the problems that Star Wars fans currently have with the IP. Okay, so that is kind of what I want to say about that. And I think it's also worth noting that, you know, all of this is rumor talk based on a tweet that Grace has. Now, it feels big. She made this tweet in a way that she feels like she's really dropping something crazy. And Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni heading over to the movie side of Star Wars is a big freaking deal. And I think that the opportunity to do this may well have come in the middle of chaos, sort of what I said in the last video with losing Jenkins and not necessarily having a clear direction of where to go. Maybe it makes sense to bring those dudes over and do a movie, or do the movie they wanted to do, coming out in the next couple of years. All of that is great and awesome. But the reality is, ladies and gentlemen, that why I got so swept up in the concept of them taking over, why the video yesterday and the news yesterday initially excited me so much and excited so many Star Wars fans out there, is because at this point I feel like most Star Wars fans are at a place where they are ready to see something like this happen. They're ready for some fresh blood. They're ready for a new direction. It just doesn't feel that great with what is going on currently. And there's a super big lack of content, discussions about content. The licensing partners don't seem to even be doing that cool stuff. Like, where's the announcements of video games, man? Like, we just heard they didn't make Battlefield 3 because friggin' DICE pitched it, and EA was like, that would be too expensive from a licensing perspective, right? We don't even get an announcement about Fallen Order 2 this year, even though all the rumors are pointing to the fact that that's happening. You get a little bit with the KOTOR remake, and that does seem really cool. I'm excited about that. But it just seems like right now there's a general unrest within the Star Wars fandom. And having Jon and Dave go over there and do some movie stuff, that is a win. Undoubtedly, regardless of whether or not it goes that way, how it happens, it's a win. But the idea that I think many people latched onto, and that I am still very hopeful is something that's on the table over there at Lucasfilm, is to allow these two gentlemen to take the reins, man. Let them take the reins. Let them decide how they do future content. Let them be in charge of future movies. Give them the keys to the kingdom, because that's what we really and truly want to happen. I was happy to report what I thought was initially going down when I read that thing yesterday. I was happy to look at the comments and see people being like, don't give me hope, or this would really change things for me, or, all these different incredible things. It really seems like this is the direction most people want it to go in. And so I'm still sort of holding out hope that we will get more development on this story. Grace has not updated us on this at all. She hasn't really put it into a video or anything like that, at least as far as I've seen. So I'm going to be following this very closely and hoping that something like this is going on, regardless of whether or not this comes to fruition. I think we need some announcements next year. Like, here's a sort of scary scenario. What if we get 2 Star Wars Celebration next year? And at this point, we've been sort of excusing a lot of the lack of announcements, a lot of the lack of, clear-cut vision for the future, what the movies are actually going to be about. We've been excusing a lot of that because we're like, maybe they're waiting for Celebration, maybe they're going to drop bombs. If we go into Celebration and we don't have some crazy big announcements, if we don't have some, cool footage and a nice roadmap ahead, I feel like there's going to be riots in the streets. I feel like Star Wars fans are really going to throw their hands up. And I'm hopeful that they have something like this, something like what's going on with Jon and Dave maybe taking over. I hope they have something like that ready to announce, ready to get fans excited, because it's been a weird emotional roller coaster for me, like thinking this was totally real, realizing that I got it wrong, thinking, oh, well, it could still mean this, but oh man, what if it doesn't? And on top of that, she does say that they are going back to the sequel trilogy characters, which I always thought they would do. I've been saying it for a long time. But again, even that felt like something that people could be more accepting of in the wake of incredible news that Jon and Dave were taking over. So it's just a weird mixed bag thing. This is sort of a weird follow-up video to do, but I felt like I had to do this video, even though technically, it could still be this thing, and I'm hopeful that it is. I got it wrong. I got too hyped up in it. And I feel like many people did. I feel like we got swept up in that as a possibility. And it was, it was a damn good couple of hours. I'll say it. It was a damn good couple of hours when I thought that Star Wars was going to fix itself and put these two in charge and just do the right thing. So what do you think, Star Wars fans? You think it's going to be a letdown if now they're only going over there to do one movie? Do you think that maybe it's possible that there's a chance that they will actually take control of Lucasfilm and be doing all the creative stuff with the movies and having stuff go through them. Do you think that's possible? What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Let me know in the comment section below. Like this video if you liked it. Subscribe to our channel to see more of our content pop up in your recommended feed. And come on over to the live streaming channel. We always have a good time over there streaming all the time throughout the week, so go check that out. As I always say, I hope you are having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.